been deputized as a McGraw Show correspondent for the next segment. Joins us. Good morning, Jay Kanzler.
Good morning, McGraw. How are you?
Great. Where are you?
I am between what used to be the city jail and the Peabody right off of 14th Street.
And are you going to today's rally?
I am not going to the rally. I'm down here supporting the Muslim community and in protest, I guess, if you will, of the outrageous things that Donald Trump has been saying, the hateful things about the people of our Muslim community.
Gotcha. Okay, so in terms of full disclosure, you represent some of those families that have been discriminated against allegedly over the last couple of weeks and months.
I do. The family that was threatened, a couple of weeks ago, and many of the folks, that within the Muslim community, I do represent them.
Gotcha. Okay, so give us a sense of the number of people who were lining up to get into the Peabody.
There are thousands. It goes for blocks.
The Peabody only holds about 3,500 people. Are all those people?
No way. There are way more people than are ever going to fit in that building.
Really?
It is incredible. It goes on for blocks. And now the protesters are lining up, and it's getting very, very ugly down here. Unfortunately, there are a few people that have come down here simply to rile up the crowd, simply to get a rise out of people. A man down here with an anonymous mask is stepping on a U.S. flag, which is got the Trump folks all upset. And the police are kind of moving in now, trying to separate the two sides. It's got all the potential for something really, really ugly.
All right. The doors were supposed to open up at 9. Have the doors opened up?
They have not.
Okay.
Everyone's still standing in line.
All right. And then, in terms of protesters, you're in your own group of protesters. How many are in your group of protesters?
Well, the protest right now is the number of people opposing Trump is probably small, maybe 100, a couple hundred, which is relatively small. You can hear them chanting in the background. It's relatively small compared with the thousands that are here lined up for Trump.
What about the Black Lives Matters, the Ferguson protesters? Any protesters? You mentioned the one stepping on the American flag. What other sights and sounds have you seen that have caused you some concern?
You have a fair number of blacks that are protesting the kind of the hate that they've heard from this. There are a number of clergy here, a number of young people. It's amazing the breadth of the opposition to Donald Trump. They're all here.
Again, Jay Kanzler, give us a sense of how long the line is to get into the Peabody.
It's almost back to Busch Stadium.
Wow. On Market Street?
No, going down Clark Street.
Going down Clark Street, which is that sort of side street.
Right.
So the line to get into the Peabody is almost reaching Busch Stadium.
That's where, again, I could be a little wrong, but not much.
Yeah. So the other thing, too, is it's only 3,500 people, so the first 3,500 people are going to get in. I can't imagine they'll allow – so there's going to be a lot more people outside clashing with the protesters that are inside.
That's correct. I mean, again – they have a very large police presence down here, but there's a very large presence of people that have clearly come, to make a scene, to have their voice heard, good or bad.
Yeah, and in terms of protesters, Jay Kanzler, you're with a protest which I no doubt will remain peaceful, but
absolutely, this is a peaceful, just kind of an expression of listen. We stand with Muslims, we stand with Christians and Jews. You are not going to unify this country with hate speech.
Right. We should also say that you are an ordained minister as well. But
I am.
But one more question about the other protesters. From your vantage point, how many protesters are out there looking for trouble or looking to cause a scene?
A good number.
Yeah.
A good number came down here for just this very reason.
Yeah. Jay Kanzler, text me, call me back, let me know how things go.
Very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Kanzler here on the Big 550 KTRS. As you heard him say, he is an attorney for some Muslims in the community. He's an ordained minister. He is a lawyer. He is a filmmaker. But most importantly, he is a friend and a friend of the show. And he texted me and said, I asked him, I knew he was down there, and I asked him if he could come on for a couple minutes and sort of give us set the scene for us. We should say that Colin Jeffries from the KTRS Newsroom is going to be inside the Peabody. He got his credentials to go inside the event and watch the event inside. It's only 3,500 people. And if there's no doubt to question Jay Kanzler, if that's the case, and there are people lined up all the way to Busch Stadium, there's going to be more people outside the Peabody than inside of the Peabody. And please, God, say a prayer that nothing terrible happens. But over the last couple of months and seasons, we've certainly seen some protests turn nasty right here in town. So we hope that at least it can be a peaceful protest. But the police, it sounds like the police have their hands full down at Keener Plaza and the Peabody Opera House. 314-969-KTRS, 1-888-550-KTRS, or star KTRS. Those are the phone numbers. Donald Trump, just in terms of schedule-wise, Donald Trump is just left Palm Beach, Florida. Now, I know he has his own plane, and he doesn't have to go through the TSA checkout. So he hops on the plane and he takes off. It's a 3-hour flight from Palm Beach to St. Louis. Is that right? It's about a 2.5-hour flight or so. I mean, it's a good 2-hour flight. If he lands at Parks and then hops into a limo and gets to the Peabody, he's not arriving to the Peabody until 12:30-ish, you would think, assuming everything goes perfectly. So these people could be standing around for a while.
And obviously he's flying in on Trump Force One.
Yeah.
I guess he calls ahead and says, well, I'm flying in today.
No. I understand. No, I don't know if he's flying into Lambert, or if he's flying into Parks or Mid-America or wherever. I mean, he can. He's not flying. They're not. He has to land somewhere relatively close.
But he's not sitting on a tarmac or.
No, I understand that. And he can move faster than the rest of us, but it still takes time. He's not teleporting himself.
I agree.
It's a 4-hour flight. It's a 4-hour flight. So, that's padding both sides so you can get your luggage with Southwest Airlines. So it's a good 3-hour flight, let's say. So these people are going to be waiting around, and there's more people going to be outside than there are inside. So say a prayer. Hopefully everybody gets home safe. 7:19.